I call the member David Clark.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, what a fine point to make by the member. The nameless and faceless operators that drive bad behaviour in our markets. And the parallels here today are both ironic and striking. This bill is about the flow of information, about the properly regulated flow of information in markets. Markets generate efficient outcomes. They make sure that investment behaviour drives the best of possible outcomes for investment and for productivity for the betterment of our society. Well, we have a political marketplace right here in New Zealand that has been subjected to some awful cartel-like behaviour in recent days. And we need to, as our leader today said, we need to cut that crap. We need to get on with regulating the market, the political market, just like this cartel market is being regulated, because when cartels are protected, they create inefficiencies and information flows which are not transparent, which are not clear, and which are not in the interests of our country. And today we have had a Prime Minister be dragged back down into this House to admit that he misled the House when it came to whether he had been in touch with Cameron Slater, the blogger. He has been practising dirty politics out of his office. He has been dragging Jason Eade 2 doors down from his office in, and we see that John Key has been donkey deep in creating a political market that behaves like a cartel, that ensures the public is not seeing good information, that is involved in a publicly funded smear machine that has driven a bad outcome. And New Zealanders are now realising just how dirty this machine has become and what a new low has been plumbed by this government when it comes to transparency and appropriate behaviour. This bill has been around for 4 years, and it's no wonder, with a government that doesn't value transparency, with a government that hates transparency, that likes to see monopolies prosper, that likes to see the rules in the favour of those who have power already rather than an open market that generates efficient outcomes. It's no wonder it's languished so long on the order paper, Mr. Speaker. This is clearly paralleled in the behaviour we've witnessed in this Parliament, where we have a Prime Minister who is prepared to be very limited in his telling of the truth right here in the Parliament when direct questions.
Order. The member will resume his seat. This is a fairly narrow debate on the bill that is before the House. Other speakers have managed to stick within those parameters, and I remind the member that the duty is on him to do the same.
Yeah, but he's hopeless. Well, Mr. Speaker, I will come back to the point, which is that we need properly regulated markets. We need markets for information, be they political information or be they typically commercially driven information, like the kind that we might find on a stock exchange, that are clear and transparent, that make it clear that the best information is being shared so people can make wise decisions on the basis of that information. They can form judgments on the basis of information that is shared clearly, that is shared honestly, that is shared in the interests of the market it is serving. And that is what this bill is about. And for those that don't observe the behaviour that is expected by regulators, in this particular bill, we see some tough penalties. Imagine if those who traded in information incorrectly, who misled the markets, were facing these penalties in all markets, not just the market we're discussing right now. Civil penalties of up to 10% of turnover during the period of cartel conduct. Criminal penalties up to 7 years of imprisonment, $10 million, 3 times the commercial gain, or 10% of turnover. These are strict regulations that the government has been sitting on for 4 years for those who breach proper process, for those who do collude to form cartels. And this kind of sharp measure is good to introduce. It is good to ensure we have efficient flows of information and properly regulated markets, and that should be true no matter where we look. Whether we look here in the narrow point we're debating here, or whether we look more broadly, Mr. Speaker, in the political environment. Joint ventures are captured by this. The Commerce Commission has looked broadly and introduced a bill which we will be supporting. It is a bill which has, as I said, been dragged through very slowly. It was started many moons ago by a Minister Foss, I think, if memory serves me correctly, or it might have even been before his time. Simon Power, right back to Simon Power. So that explains, my colleague, I did hear him say that earlier, the intent of the bill is good. A hard-working minister brought it into the House, but this government over there have been very slow to move it through because of their distaste, it seems, for the measures in the bill. Right now they're under pressure, they're under a lot of pressure to make it look like they are interested in regulating the market appropriately, and so they are putting this bill through here this evening. But the public of New Zealand is becoming increasingly suspicious of this government. It's disturbing practices. They say yes when they mean no. They say no when they mean yes. And we are beginning to wonder what on earth they really stand for. And the public of New Zealand are no longer clear whether this government can be trusted. And that is on the basis of slow progress of bills like this and of the events that we have observed today that I'm not allowed to discuss at length in this speech, Mr. Speaker. So I don't have much more to add other than to say that we will be supporting this bill. The bill does make some good progress, albeit slow. Goodness knows when we'll see the next stages of this bill come through this House. I wish that the Prime Minister would be more upfront with this Parliament, and that is all I have to say for this evening. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.